Say my brothers is me again. Y'all know sometimes we unconsciously call ourselves God. That I realized one time and I thought about it. Look, so I was in the car one time with my friend, right? He riding with like his high beams on. I'm like, turn your high beams off real quick. Because it was cars in front of us and I just be cautious of, you don't drive for yourself, you drive for others. So while in the midst of it, I thought of it like, dang, what if the other car was like, thank God? People be religious. They be like, thank God. But naturally, I told my man, hey, turn off the light. They said, thank me. So we all be calling ourselves God and we don't even know. Like, that's why you be like, thank God I didn't do that. Because you didn't. Or let me say it like this. Thank God that could have went a different way. But you react in a cordial way to it, or the most perfect way you possibly could have, right? And nothing happened out of it. You think of yourself that you got self-control. Like, sometimes it be about you. In the Bible, it tell you that your body is the temple. So you wake up in church every day. Like, some things you just know you're gonna wake up and just know not to kill your mother. You know that's not right. You know, be the protective of it. Like, some things is inscripted in your DNA that you don't even realize. And they trying to switch it to think God is external and it's internal. So you are God and God is you, or all is nothing and nothing is all, if you understand that. So it's like law of manifestation. Like, the more you understand, like, you don't need to hound something to get it, the more you be freeing. Like, the less you want, the more you get if you get it. Like, it's the needy people that don't get taken care of, but it's always the humble people that get what they want in the end. Somewhat. But yeah, though, I just want y'all understand that your body is a temple. You take care of your temple. That's what God mean. He don't mean go put 20,000 at the church. God is an almighty man. He doesn't need money. He doesn't need people to follow him. I only believe one law in this world. It's the universal law, and that means not to harm no one. Yes, we all have to fight because God says when you're younger and you walk around thinking you Billy Badass and you finally meet Billy Badass and you whoop your ass, you learned the lesson. It wasn't necessarily bad, but it was just something you have to be taught. But sometimes that universal lesson has to be broke, because how do you change rules? You break them. Rules don't change by you following them. Rules change by you breaking them and expanding it. But yeah, that's it. We all just call each other guys. We all guys. We don't act like it. They don't want us to know that we guys. We all found out that we was guys and we all have a higher purpose. We start acting different, because when you know better, you do better. And when you don't know better, you can't do better. And you can't pin for someone that don't know better. But you can pin them in a way that they don't know. Like, you could short them, make them shoot themselves in the foot. You see how black people act all because of each other. I don't act like none. Y'all see another black person, I'll be like, what's up, brother? We all came here for the same mission. We all trying to live. That's why I walk around with clear thoughts. You go take you a walk, read a book, learn something. The most thing that I found sometimes is you really be thinking a person has the words that you've been looking for, when the actionality is actually in a book sometimes. Like, I found a lot of answers in a book I didn't even know. You didn't meet that person. That author may have died, but he left some words. This is why reading and writing books is so important, and journaling yourself is so important, because you leave a footprint on this earth to someone to live by. Rather it's just your handwriting, or the way you taught something, the way you do something, the way you know something. People die with knowledge. People are killed for that. Like, imagine if you could buy knowledge off a person, like trades and shit, electrician. 40. Oh, I got 40 years of electrician in the graveyard, and you can buy his information. Some people would die for stuff like that. So it's like, knowledge is the thing that you can't buy in this world. That is the most valuable thing, because knowing that you are the most biggest asset that you invest in, if you learn it, is bigger than the next person in your circle knowing it. Because what is good is them knowing it if you don't know it. You have to learn something for yourself and teach it yourself, so you can understand what you are doing, instead of just doing it just to do it. You feel me? Like, build some purpose within yourself. And sometimes not knowing what path to take, sometimes it's all about learning yourself. Like, I used to be religious. I used to be all in the Jesus and Christian book. Now I just believe in myself. Well, not even believe. I said believe. To believe in something is to leave room for doubt. I know myself as God. I know thyself. I'm still learning. It's a limit. It's a limitless to learning, but tomorrow I can learn more than what I did yesterday. But the goal is to be 1% better than I was yesterday. But yeah, I used to come from all that. It's like learning yourself is the best path. Investing in yourself, put money up for yourself. What my uncle said, he said, get your mind right, get your money right. You know, get your peace, get your dough right. Chef can't bake no pies without no dough. It ain't nothing wrong with working a 9 to 5, but I recommend a lot of y'all get a trade and avenge yourself from this economy. Because if a lot of black people could build houses, we could do all this shit ourselves, we wouldn't need them. If we know how to electric power our own houses, build our own houses, grow our own food, think for ourselves, I believe we won't even need a leader if everybody thought for themselves. But I'll be quiet at things like this because some people may look at you like you crazy, but you can't. It's like the universe glasses. Like once you see it, you can't unsee it. And if you do, you turn that blind eye to it, which is worse than not knowing it, I believe. There's things that need to be talked about on this, and there's things that need a platform for this. I don't know. Sometimes I just say I don't know too, because it's like sometimes you don't know and it's good because you here, you living in the moment. If you knew everything, you'd be so much better. Sometimes it's just like take it from a standpoint as I know nothing and I'm trying to learn. And it leaves room to grow because it's like I should have knew, but now I know. Like I went through so much shit in my life. I went years later just to learn it, to never go over again. Certain principles go over. It's like dumb people learn off their mistakes and smarter people learn off other mistakes. You feel me? But it's not dumb to learn off yours because sometimes, like I'm the oldest in my house. The oldest son, or the eldest son, let's say. And a lot of things I had to learn myself. But the blessing is I get to pass it on to my siblings to like, hey, don't do that. I mean, they're gonna bump their head, of course. You know, some things are taught with head bumping lesson. Let's say nobody dies, but we all learn our lesson. I bet they won't do it again. Another thing, don't believe in all this to the politics and the pull-based strings that pulling on the camera. Like media is so powerful. Like it's not real, but it's real. Like it's not real. Like on some fictional thing, it's not real because it wasn't here 200 years ago. But it's real on the fact that you can access it though, and you could be pulled into it just by like investing your time and focus and really believing in everything on the internet. Like you could look at some things to 6 standpoint and be like, hey, I don't think that's real. I don't believe in everything. They can't tell me the sky turn purple tomorrow. You have to prove it to me. Then maybe I might say the sky turn purple tomorrow. But as far as I know, the sky's still gonna be blue and black. Yeah, you just invest in yourself, read a book, drink water, meditate, take all your time and just learn yourself and love yourself too. Self-love is the best love. Once you learn how to love yourself, you can learn to love the next person because it'd be a shame of you to give someone 50% of you knowing that 100% of you is better than this. I don't know. Also take it on this standpoint. I ain't trying to change nobody. I'm just trying to better everybody. But a better version of you is a different version than the last you, but it's just a better version of you, feel me? I know what you can get. I see the potential. I know we all got the potential to change this. The No Kings protest, I love that. I love when I see shit like that. But they gonna flood the media with other shit, so that's why you can't be in tune. That's why you gotta do your research. That's why you just can't believe me. You gotta do your own things. Like where I get it from, I get it either from Safari, Reddit, or someone else's thoughts. You know, someone that has, some people on Reddit, it's a lot of smart people on here that live behind them a keyboard, and a lot of people wouldn't even know. Like, I didn't see so much like knowledgeful or insightful things on the internet from another person's standpoint. It says instead of from Wikipedia, because they be defying the shit that they be saying. So that's why I kind of like cling with it more, because it's like, I don't know, like, can it make anything less of what I believe in if it debunks yours? No, it's a living standpoint of like, that's not true, it actually go this way, or this don't make sense. But like, people be so in tune because they grew up on it, and I get that. But sometimes that's why I say, love yourself, know yourself, and learn yourself. I said.